Hello everyone, myself Rupesh Borkar, and our today's Viva topic, video topic is a check and uncheck exception in exception handling in Java. Okay, so before moving on to our topic, I would like to introduce myself. Hello, I am Rupesh Borkar. I did my graduation from Government College of Engineering, Avsari, Pune, along in 2020 with the CGPA 6.17. Specialization in computer science. Okay, so now let's move on to our topic, which is check and uncheck exception in exception handling in Java. So exception handling plays a most important role in Java. So what is an exception first? So the exception is an unwanted is an unwanted error in our program which disturbs the flow flow of our program. So how do we handle that? How do we do that? So to handle that, there are some keywords which are used, like a try, catch, final block, and throws keyword. So these are the keywords which are used to handle the exception handling if the exception is occurred in Java. So now there are two kinds of exception handling. First one is check exception, and another one is uncheck exception, and there is one more exception which is error. We called as error. So the so first we discuss about the check exception. What does the check exception? Check exception occurs at the compile time. Okay, whenever we are compiling some code, and if we have written some mistake, then it will gives us an error, so which cannot be ignored. So for example, if we take example of suppose I have one instance variable which is a string name equals to, and in string I have written 1 2 3, then it will give an compile time error, which means that that 1 2 3 cannot be a string. Okay, it must be written in the double quotes, inside the double quotes, if we have declared that variable as a string object. So this is a compile time exception, and it cannot be easily ignored. It must be solved at the compilation time only. If not, then it will not go for the execution. Okay, so so for the some of the examples of the check exception is IO exceptions, SQL exception, yeah, these are the examples of the. Okay, and the classes that directly inherit the throwable class except runtime and the error are known as the check exception. Now another one is uncheck exception. The uncheck exception is opposite to the check exception. As we seen in the check exception, the exception occurred at the time of the compilation, but in uncheck exception the exception is occurred at the runtime. So which means that it can easily ignored by the programmer. If for example, if it has written something wrong, then it will be ignored. It cannot be detected easily. Okay, so it will cause a problem at the time of the runtime. So this is the difference between the check exception and the uncheck exception. Okay, so the example for the uncheck exception is let's take an like array index out of bound exception, null point enter, arithmetic exception. Okay, so let's explain the arithmetic exception. The arithmetic exception means if we are going to divide some number with 0, then it will always throw an error. Okay, so so if we have created one application which has which performs a division operation. Okay, so and I have given that taken two variable int a and int b, and I am taking the input from the user, and I divided a divided by b. Whenever the input comes, then it will divide and it will provide the output. Okay, desired output. But what happened if the user enters b equals to 0, then whatever the number we are going to divide by 0 is always throws an exception. Then it will throws an exception. Okay, so it must be handled. Then it can be handled by try and catch block. The whatever the code which are performing division operation is written in the try block, and the another is written in the catch block. Okay, so so in this way we can handle the try and catch block. Error is irreversible. Some example of the errors are out of memory error. Okay, so in uncheck exception there is array index out of bound also occurs. For example, if I have one array which size is 5, okay, and I try to uh, I try to get the element which are at the index 6, which means that if array is of size 5, then it will cannot place any sixth element, then it will show an array exception, array index out of bound exception. Thank you.